Scourge, the tracker, and his huntsman, the sweeps.
The Top Gear Hanger, this is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the FansToys Inquisitor FT-61, and this is their take on a very G1-esque Scourge, and we're going to take a look at this guy, compare it to a lot. I got a lot of stuff to compare it to, especially X-Transbot's version of this, and of course what else FansToys has made to accompany this team. Finally get to finish the team from FansToys, but I did get this at Shozy. I'll have a link down below where you can get yours, and of course remember TH reviewer code. But let's get in and take a look at Inquisitor from FansToys coming up. Here is the box. It looks pretty good. It's a showing that's, I guess, supposed to be definitely a cartoon version, not the toy version. And flipping all this around. Here it goes on the back. But you can see all kinds of stuff that's going on here. Looking pretty good overall as a FansToys box. And that's all we're going to see in the box. Right, here he is. Right out of the box, I feel like I had a couple of issues with him. Like his backpack not tabbed in all of the way. Down here on the lower legs, I don't know why they just weren't in right. The lower legs weren't in, so I had to like play with that to get it. So, and then the neck wasn't tabbed in. So there's three things that I had to like do when it was right out of the box. And with that though, very stunning looking figure. Just fantastic. And you know, I was one of the people that was thinking, well, I got the X-Transbots, what do I need this for? And really, I wasn't excited for this one because I had the X-Transbots one, but now we'll see them side by side, but that paint and that finish is just one of those things that it's such a great paint job. They always do a great job with the paint job, and it does have like a metallic feel to it, but not overly metallic. But they've done some really good stuff with this guy, the way he looks. I do, though, feel like his backpack's a little bit on the excessive side. There's a lot going on there, and the transformation is kind of crazy. But yeah, you can't deny the fact that he does look really good. Now, one thing you could do also if you want some more stability, and I want to show this, is you can fold this heel spur out, and let's get, I guess I gotta get the toes out. Gotta get the toes out. Got toes out. It's not exactly a heel spur, but you could use it as a heel spur if you want a little bit of extra support there. All right, let's run through the aesthetics and articulation at the same time here, and we can see the head looks really nice. He's got quite a bit of paint to him, and got side to side. I wouldn't push it too far on the side to side with his head because his little beard pieces and mustache pieces. You got like a metallic red there, and I was curious whether or not they were going to make it light up or not, but I don't think they do, so it doesn't look like it's a thing. And it's fun how you swap the head out. That's kind of an interesting way you swap the head out. Just like a tab on the top there. And then going down, we have shoulder out to here. 360 if you want it. Bicep swivel like usual. Sort of double jointed, but you don't get full range because of the design of the guy. And then you have quite a bit of stuff going on his hand right there. So you've got the thumb on 2 points of ball joint, and then one more point, and then this here, 1, 2, 3 points of articulation for each finger. And you got that pinkish fuchsia. Is it fuchsia fingernails? So he's been painting his nails for a while. And yeah, he got a manicure last weekend. Then you got waist swivel and then ab crunch to there. His cape is getting in the way. His wings, cape wings. Then you got to lift up these. Now this is kind of old school, but it still works. The old school way of doing things here. Goes to about there. It doesn't go past that. It feels like it could go a little bit more. And then back to there, but you start moving it to the side. And then this goes off to the side like that. On friction, thigh swivel. Kind of on a universal type of joint there. Double jointed knee, which is nice. And then my back of my leg just came back out. All right, so getting down here to the foot, you got some side to side and some up and down, kind of everything you need with that foot. So decent articulation with it, pretty good figure overall, and looks fantastic. So let's go ahead and get into accessories. He does have this gun, and this gun is painted. It's got paint right here, kind of a white, off-white, and red. And then he also has several faces. Well, flight stand we don't need for this. And then all of these faces. Let's go ahead and pick a couple. So we're going to kind of lift the head up, unpop one head, and then pop another head into the slot there. And then close the head back down. And we've got kind of a smiling head. Maybe you want to call that a sinister sneer of a head. Kind of a yelling and screaming head. And then, in all honesty, they're just different size eyes, I guess. I don't see any difference. But anyway, I think we'll leave that one on there. Now for his Targetmaster, and it does appear to be painted all over too. It looks pretty nice. But he looks great in his bot mode, and yeah, he's just a Targetmaster. Gets the job done. This is an accessory, so his head side to side, up and down, just a little bit. Shoulder about out to there. 360. Does have no bicep swivel, so just arm, elbow articulation, waist swivel. Should have an ab crunch. I mean, I see it. There it is. It took a bit to get it out there. And then leg to there, leg to here. Some mid-thigh swivel and knee articulation tight. And then a little bit of ankle. Is it ankle tilt? No ankle tilt. Okay. It does pretty much more than you probably need for this little guy right here. But let's get him transformed up and see how that goes. So we're going to move his arm up to here. And it's just moving on up, right? And then we are going to break this, not the figure, this connection. And then this is going to fold around like so. Then we need to bring out the handle, and then it folds around like this. I think I got one of the new handles. I got a new and improved handle, so I'm going to be lucky on that front. And if you didn't get a new improved handle, then I guess you're just getting extra parts or something along those lines. Not sure. We need to open these tabs here. Gotta get that done. And then these tabs are going to tab into this, but let's get this tab in up here. And then we have his Targetmaster. Let me get everything straightened up on this Targetmaster. And we have a handle. There's his gun, his handle. Let's see if we can get it in his hand. And there he is with a new improved handle for his Targetmaster. They fixed it. They went back to the drawing board. That's why this thing was so late. Because they found out, I guess, in the first few batches that there was a problem with the handle not fitting in the hand. And so they went back to the drawing board and they fixed it. I mean, if that's... Is that exactly how that looks a little weird. Is that exactly how it's supposed to look? But anyhow, it's still fixed and it works. And there is the Targetmaster. All right, so here he is with a G1 Scourge, and yeah, this looks way better than G1. Actually, you can kind of see why I did not like a lot of these 86 figures back in 1986. The characters themselves looked really cool on screen, but the toys weren't so great. But anyway, that's where we came from, where we're going. Where have we been? All right, so this is where we've been for a couple years now, several years. The only option really was X-Transbots, and I do think the X-Transbots one still looks good. This one etches it out a bit aesthetically. And this one does feel a whole lot different, like heftier. You can tell there's die-cast in the FansToys versus the X-Transbots. Some of the things, the way they did the collar looks a little bit better. And there's just a handful of things, top to bottom, that looks better. I do like the way the lower legs clean up. The feet feel like better feet. But at the end of the day, I still think if you have X-Transbots ones and you're happy with them, you could still be happy with them. But I'm going to do this this is Scourge. These are some random sweeps. That's the way I look at it, and I don't know how everyone else is going to look at it. Just kind of want to show the backpack, and I guess it's better to just do a one-to-one kind of deal here. But you can see that it's like they did different types of backpacks, but there's a lot more junk going on the FansToys. But after this transformation, I don't know if I'd want them to engineer out any more of that backpack. So that's all I got to say. So that's how it looks. Here he is with two different companies, Cyclonus. This is Transbots here, and that is the FansToys. And let's get a good angle on that. Just kind of see how he fits. He is still shorter than them. And let's bring in a Galvatron to kind of see how that looks. I feel like I'm taking everything out of this display. I'm going to have to rebuild the display anyway to accommodate him and all the sweeps and everything. But nice looking team overall. Pretty exciting to, I guess you could say, close the chapter of this, waiting for Scourge. Alright, getting into the transformation, it is quite involved, so let's just get started here. First thing we want to do is collapse his legs together, so we're going to open up this and maybe do it from the back. And these pieces collapse together, fold that in, and put that all back the way it should be. And then I got the party started here. You need to kind of untab that and slide this down, fold it to the side, and slide it out. We're going to need to untab this tab here. Come on, out. And then that's going to open all this up. Fold the foot up, and then we can get some of this stuff out of here. Just come out and go around the back, fold this tab piece in. Now we are going to move all this up. So this is going to go up and cover, but we need to untab these pieces. This is so weird. And just slide them over a little bit. Same for the back one. Slide it over a little bit. So strange. We should be able to get this put back in place. Now I'm going to mess around with this foot now. And I already have this heel spur piece out. It's something you'd have to take out if you didn't have it out, but I was using it as a heel spur. Fold in the toe, and then we're going to fold pull this up, fold it around. Goes up like so. Then we flip the whole foot around. It's going to go in here. And I think I might have to open this back up to get the foot to collapse in right. There it goes. And then close it. So you might want to wait on closing that till you got the foot in there. Get everything lined up just right again. And then this is going to be a gap filler right there. Hope I got all that on camera just right. And so you got one end of this. I'm going to do the other one off camera. This thing is going to take a long time. I don't want it to be too long of a transformation. So there's the second one done and just tabbed together with the tab there. And that's pretty simple. Now, getting into the arm, I'm going to pull this up a bit so we can see what's going on here. We have to start with these arms and messing with them. And one thing you can do, and let's untab this backpack, and you can kind of pull up on this piece and it'll get the ball started rolling for the shoulder. Then you come down here, you can get this piece out, you can pull this out, which I was kind of messing with this and I didn't properly get it back in place, but now you push it back in. So you got that out of the way. Then we're going to have to get the arm down. Like so. Then we put that back into place. And then we will hold up on putting that back in until we get the other arm. But kind of the same thing on the other side. Next up, we want to untab the head. And then we want to clear all of this with this, all this stuff going on with this head. And It all untabs and goes way back there. Then we're going to come up here and reconnect this. So on this side, this whole backpack piece is still connected. But over here, you have to slide this in here and then close it up. Like so. Kind of strange. It's different. It is the way it is. But make sure this piece here is out of the way. When you're closing it up, make sure it's all flush. Showing that. And then make sure that this is still secure and everything's in its proper place. So make sure that we open up this chest piece, and then that is going to go into here before we do a whole bunch of crazy stuff that's about to happen. I'm quite aware that I'm going to have trouble with keeping this all in frame, so that's going to be my #1 focus here. But this is going to come down, and then this is going to rotate, and then we're going to bring this stuff up, and then this stuff is going to start unfurling and opening up. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on here, like so. But you can see this is kind of shell forming. It's not shell shocked, it's shell forming. But down here, we want to start getting this into its position. Start getting it set up. And we're just going to shell form this the rest of the way. We can move these into their spot like that and start working on this. And we'll just keep going on down, truing it up. These wing pieces here just kind of folding in. And one weird thing is, before we go much further with these panels, we have got to make sure that this piece here is aligned with that. And then that's because there's these other pieces here that go underneath it. And then we continue with our panel tabbing. And panel tabbing. That way we got the head positioned properly to do its stuff that it needs to do, because it's going to be crazy. And we're getting closer, getting further along with this business. Now for this head piece, we're going to go and get into the head assembly, but make sure we still have all these pieces out and lined up, and these pieces here in the back. Then there's some filler pieces we're going to be taking out back here. So open this up, kind of pull that, flip this around, push this back in, and then we want to get this extra detail piece out as best we can. We can fold that up. And then this is going to go back here like so. All that. And then this is going to go forward. We are going to lift up on... Let's get a better angle. We're going to lift up on this to bring this piece out, so it's going to align with matching that. Get all that tabbed in, and then we're going to get over here to the back to finish all this up. Now, we do have some tabs that need to come out here, and then there's a piece that folds out here. Same thing here. Come on. That one's giving me some trouble. And then fold out. Oh. They tab into each other and then tab into this. So. There it goes. And then these filler pieces fold down. And we're getting close. We're almost there. We still need to bring this stuff around over here. So this is going to fold down, fold out. And then this is going to come in here and tab into everything. So we got to tab all of this in and make that happen. All through here, it's got to get tabbed in. Same thing's going to happen over here. And I'm going to mess around with that just a little bit, get it all tabbed in. And then that should be pretty much it. We should be done. Let me mess around with the tabbing of this real quick. So I was tabbing all this in. This is the point at where FansToys Designs either reward you or punish you for having everything aligned Everything must be aligned exactly right, or it's not going to work. So you have to have it, and they will reward you if it's just right. If you're missing anything, you're definitely going to get punished. Definitely, but I think we're there. Let me take a closer look at it, tab some more stuff in, and then we'll be back to look at it. All right, here it is in its alt mode, and I will say, going around tabbing it in some more, and it's just fun how everything just clicks in just right once you get it. Halfway through this, I was thinking, what if not everything tabs in right? Like that little bit right there seems to be like a gap that I feel like I could get rid of if I mess with it some more. But yeah, it's a really clean transformation. It looks good. Of course, the materials, of course, the paint and all that. It looks fantastic. It's so clean from every angle. And it wasn't worth the squeeze of all that work to get here. I don't know. I still don't know. But I think it looks amazing. Fantastic. The bottom, we're going to see some stuff that you can do with it from the bottom here. And maybe it's just me, but I had a little bit more trouble with the lower legs. Since I got it, since the day I pulled out of the box, I've had trouble with the lower legs. But yeah, pretty impressive. Looks nice. It's interesting how these are already formed the way they are, but then all this engineering with the head and all of that to make it match those two. It's a little bit bigger. That little jet propulsion section or whatever you want to call those. But yeah, looks really nice. Looks really good. Gets the job done. Let's quickly look at accessories and comparisons. And then we will be finishing up with a pretty good figure. So you got the flight stand adapter. And I'm not digging a flight stand out. I don't really use them. I have a bunch of them, I guess, in the boxes. But you plug it into those two holes there. And then this is where it would clip on. You can also, if you want to, I hope it still works, clip this in here. And so there it is. And as you can see, it's longer than they originally designed it. So it's not holding in as tight as if it was the original design. The original design had a much tighter, it was much tighter. That's probably why it was that way for this flight stand. But you see with the new handle. And then we've got this one here, which plugs into the, oh, that's not what happens. Plugs in with this. Yeah, there we go. Plugs in like that, so you can have that if you want to. It's a thing for you to use as a weapon storage. Can we balance it? There we go. Balancing it with a weapon storage, and we've got that other little piece there for the flight stand adapter. Now, that's the accessories that go with this mode, unless you want to count all the faces for him. I don't know if I want to untransform it and get his head out, but I guess I have to. But we'll do that later. Here he is next to a G1, and you can see what he looks like next to G1. Yes, but G1's rough. Yes, I never went after. Oh man, let's push this back. I never went after a Scourge or the sweeps or any of that in G1. They were just here, so I'm sure I'm missing guns and parts and things that I probably needed. But without going after them, I think I have like 4 of them. But if you think that one's rough, look how rough this one is. And then I've got even worse ones on the shelf. But still kind of fun to see where we've come from the past. Some random comparisons, which I still have not transformed this back. It's still in its jet mode, and this is still in its truck mode. The X-Transbots, FansToys. Here's next to the Galvatron toy version, the Thomas toy version, and Bumblebee. Simply because they were all on the same shelf. I figure why not? But he's kind of long. Because I kind of think of Thomas as a pretty long train. And it's almost as long as Thomas. Not quite. Alright, so you start untransforming it. And then you got to tuck that away. And get that put away. And then we have to flip this around. And bring this down into here. Tuck that into there. And then retab all that up. If it's a thing you want to do and you want to have the Scourge head pop out, it can happen. It's not pretty. It's not as smooth and it's not look as good as I would like it to, but I don't know. The G1 toy doesn't really even do it exactly right. They have a piece covering it, but yeah, there you go. You got Scourge head. Alright, so that's my look at the FansToys Inquisitor. Here's their take on a very G1-esque Scourge, and I think he looks great. He looks fantastic. I'm really pleased with this figure. Yes, I do like it better than X-Transbots, but my X-Transbots is not gonna go anywhere. Also, I want to say that it took me an extra 2 months to get this versus the rest of the world, but I'm happy with the fact that I've got my Targetmaster fixed. My Targetmaster is fitting in his hand properly. And then I have to give kudos to FansToys for addressing that issue and fixing people's. But I will say that the one downside, this is a lot of transformation. There's a lot of engineering in the transformation. It is quite involved, but it's not something you want to knock out more than once, probably. But it's not something I'd want to go back to again. But anyway, I'm curious what you guys think about this. I do have a link where you can get yours at Showzy Store. Remember, TH Reviewer code, like and subscribe, and Tidarium Hanger out.
Destroy them! Remember, tinfoil can't talk. Scourge may be able to tell us what happened to it. That plasma energy's lethal. It nearly killed 5 of you against all of us. You're mad.